We're traveling west on Interstate 40 in eastern Oklahoma. We're headed for the small community of Hatchina. We're going to the grave of actor Will Sampson. Now you'll recognize Sampson in his portrayal of Chief Brondum in the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. His grave is located in the Creek Indian Nation at Graves Creek Cemetery. Will Sampson was born William Sampson, Jr. in Okmulgee, Oklahoma on September the 27th, 1933. His family and friends called him Sonny. Sonny was a full-blooded Muskogee Creek Native American. His father, William Sr., was called Wiley, and his mother was Mabel Lewis Sampson. Will, or Sonny, had 3 older sisters. Shirley Ann passed away as an infant. Vena Mae Sampson, Randall, was born July the 30th, 1929, and passed away September the 20th, 2001, at the age of 72. Norma Jean Sampson Bible was born September the 1st, 1931, and passed away October the 22nd, 2009, at the age of 78. They are both buried at the Graves Creek Cemetery, close to their brother Sonny. As a small boy, Sonny taught himself to draw pictures. It'll become his life's passion, and he'll become quite an artist. Through his life, if he needed money, he'd sell a painting. He always said that painting is my life. I'm first, last, and always a painter. He did become a recognized painter of Western art long before he was an actor. Now at exit 264, take Highway 69 north for a short distance. And then we'll go down here and take 266 west. Now Sonny left school at an early age. Like many other boys his age, he started riding broncos and bulls on and off for almost 20-something years. While in his late teens, Sonny married Yana Marshall, also from the Creek Nation. Unfortunately, the couple will lose their first son, James, as an infant. Their second son, Timothy, was still small in 1953 when Sonny joined the U.S. Navy. While in the Navy, he found time to train and obtain a private pilot's license. Now after service, Sonny returned to the Creek Nation in Okmulgee. He discovered that he and Yana had grown apart while he was away, and they soon divorced. For the next few years, he'll continue to rodeo while working as a construction worker, an oil field worker, and he'll learn to climb power poles as a lineman. Sonny found himself in and out of trouble with the local law. He will suffer from a drinking problem for most of his life. He will drift from home and become acquainted with the inside of a jail cell, but nothing serious. His rambling ways will worry his family, especially his mother. Sonny will make attempts to correct his life, but will find no help from local leaders, and he will eventually leave Okmulgee in order to find work. He was married several times during his short life. It's believed that his second wife was Cecilia Chocony Freeman, nicknamed Bubbles. They'll have 2 daughters, Andrea and Poggy. The girls will work hard to preserve their father's name and to keep his memory alive. Sonny and Cecilia will also divorce, and Cecilia will pass away February the 10th, 2017, at the age of 77. Sonny then meets and marries Dolores Daly. It's believed that they had a daughter named Shirley, and in 1956, William Sampson III was born. He was called Tim. Tim and Shirley will be raised by their paternal grandmother, Mabel. When Tim finishes high school, Will will ask him if he wants to continue his education or come live with him in Hollywood. He chose to live with his dad, who had just got his first movie part in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Tim will follow his dad into show business, starting out as a stuntman and eventually performing the same part as Chief Brandon on Broadway with Gary Sinise, almost 15 years after his father's death. Now we'll continue traveling west on 266 until we reach the small community of Hitchina. It is one store on the left, and after you pass the store, take the next road to the right. It's County Road N4080. In 1970, Sonny was living in the mountains around Yakima, Washington. He was painting and drawing pictures, and he had no idea that producer Michael Douglas had been looking for a tall, strong, full-blooded Indian to play the part of Chief Brandon, a deaf and dumb mental patient in his up-and-coming movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Now take a left at the stop sign, and you'll go to the end of the street and take a right. Rodeo announcer and friend of Sonny's, Mel Lambert, called Sonny's mother looking for Sonny. He told her that he was trying to get a hold of Sonny because they had heard about him and wanted him to try out for the part in a movie, even though Sonny had never acted before. Now, not knowing if Sonny wanted to be found, she wouldn't give Mel Sonny's phone number, but she called him herself. Sonny was soon on his way to Los Angeles to meet the producers. He took several paintings and drawings with him. He was thinking that if this movie thing didn't work out, maybe he could sell them a few of his paintings. Fortunately, they took one look and hired him on the spot, without an audition, and bought all of his paintings so that he would have enough money to get by on until he could be paid for the movie. Will Sampson was 43 years old and had never acted a day in his life when he got the role of Chief Brandon. He said he sometimes had a hard time keeping a straight face while doing a scene. And in 1976, Jack Nicholson won the Academy Award for his part as Randall McMurphy, and Louise Fletcher won the Oscar for Best Actress for her part as Nurse Ratched. Cuckoo's Nest also won Best Picture, Best Writer, and Best Director. Sonny found himself all of a sudden in demand as an actor. He'll be selected to play William Halsey, the Indian interpreter for Sitting Bull in the movie Buffalo Bill and the Indians, or Sitting Bull's History Lesson. It'll star Paul Newman as Buffalo Bill, the showman, along with Geraldine Chaplin as Annie Oakley. Buffalo Bill will quickly be followed by The Outlaw Josie Wells, that was directed and starred Clint Eastwood as Josie Wells and Sandra Locke as Laura Lee. Will Sampson will play the warrior, Ten Bears. The next year in 1977, Sampson will become Crazy Horse in The White Buffalo, that stars Charles Bronson, Kim Novak, and a host of other stars. During the filming of White Buffalo, the producers hired white actors to play the role of Indians. Sonny refused to act and shut the production down for an entire day until real Indian actors were hired to play Indians. He had felt for a long time it was crazy for Hollywood to use white actors to play parts of Indians when there were plenty of Native American actors available. He made it his goal to change the attitude of Hollywood towards Native Americans. Along with the help of his private secretary, Zoe Escobar, he established the American Indian Registry for Indian actors. Sonny had a strong feeling about the way all Native American tribes had been treated, and visited reservations between movies in order to help raise the prestige of Indian children. Also in 1977, Sampson will star with Richard Harris and Charlotte Rampling in the movie Orca, about a killer whale that seeks revenge for the death of its mate. And in 1978 and 79, Sonny will appear in 6 episodes of the TV show Vegas, that starred Robert Urich. Sonny played Harlow Two-Leaf. Now that same year, Sonny will appear in 3 made-for-TV movies, starting with CBS's Relentless, and then NBC's movie The Hunter Lady. And in 1978, it'll be Standing Tall for NBC. In 1979, Sonny will be the primary actor in a Canadian film, Fishhawk. Fishhawk was an Indian with a drinking problem, but will sober up to hunt down a dangerous bear that had killed his favorite dog and to rid his community of danger. In 1980, it'll be another NBC TV movie, Alcatraz, the whole shocking story. Sampson will play the father of Clarence Carnes, the youngest inmate to ever be incarcerated at Alcatraz, and mastermind behind a prison break. On the 22nd of May 1982, Sonny marries Doris Gale Thompson. She was 18 and he was 48. The marriage will last long enough to produce 2 sons, Samsoji and Miko. The boys will learn to love traditional native dances taught by their mother. They are known for their fancy and grass dances, and they are deeply involved in preserving their native heritage. From 1983 until 1984, Sampson will appear in 7 episodes of NBC's soap opera, The Yellow Rose. Sonny will appear as John Strongheart, along with Sam Elliott, David Soul, and Sybil Shepherd. The Yellow Rose was supposed to have been an answer to CBS's Dallas. Now, it'll be 1985 when Sonny will be the elevator attendant in the movie Insignificance with Gary Busey and Teresa Russell. By 1986, Will Sampson, along with his son Tim and nephew Rusty Powell, will live on a small ranch outside of Los Angeles at Lakeview Terrace, California, near the National Forest. Sonny loved horses and always kept 4 or 5 on the ranch. Along this time, Sonny's health began fading, and he will eventually be diagnosed with systematic sclerosis, a degenerative disease that affects the heart, lungs, and hardening of the skin. Now, there is no cure for this disease. It's not contagious, and no one actually knows what causes it. Although his health was slowly failing, Sampson will continue to work. He'll be Taylor in Poltergeist 2. He'll play Tall Eagle in Firewalker, a comedy with Chuck Norris and Lou Gossett Jr. He'll make his final appearance in 1987's TV movie The Gunfighter with George Kennedy. Sonny will have an unaccredited role as a train passenger. He was extremely weak from his illness, losing from 260 pounds down to 140. He was in need of a lung heart transplant, and he was aware that his chances of survival were slim. His son and nephew accompanied him to the Methodist Hospital in Houston, Texas, one of the few hospitals equipped at that time to perform such operations. Will Sampson underwent transplant operation on the 23rd of April, 1987. Around May the 25th, Sonny slipped into a coma. And on the 3rd of June, with friends and family, William Sonny Sampson passed away at the age of 53. Now the paved road is turned into dirt, and the Graves Creek Cemetery is up ahead on the left. And it's very easy to miss it. It's a small graveyard. Now this is the grave of William Sonny Sampson. His grave is covered by a traditional Native American grave house. It was built by his nephew Rusty at the request of Sonny's sister. His oldest sister, Vena Mae, is buried to his left, and his other sister, Norma Jean, is buried at the head of Sonny's grave. Will Sampson became a major Hollywood star, but he never forgot his Muskogee Creek heritage. He hated the way the American Indians had been treated and openly expressed his feelings. He fought to change the attitudes towards the American Indian. If he had lived in the 1800s, I'm almost sure that he would have been a warrior, riding along with Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse.